Hey, hi guys, welcome to PCF. Okay, in this video, okay, we are going to discuss about the report performance. Okay, so like so you may get the interview question like how to get the report performance and all. Okay, so we'll go step by step. Okay, so we'll go with the Power Query. Okay, and then we'll go with the Power Pivot modeling, and then we'll go with the Power View. Okay, so in each area, okay, so each area, what steps we can implement, and then where we can improve the performance and all. Okay, so the possible ways we will discuss. Okay, the possible ways we'll discuss in this video. Okay, so the first point is, okay, like, so suppose you have a source columns like hundreds of columns. Okay, hundreds and okay, so many columns are there, but we required reports. For report we required only a few of them. Okay, suppose you have hundreds of columns, but you required only 10 columns for that report. Okay, choose only the 10 columns. Okay, so that also, okay, it will do so lot of memory. Okay, it will give the lot of memory, it will free the lot of memory, so that so our report performance will be increased. And also the second point, when you do merge and append, okay, there will be the source tables, right? Okay, when we use merge as a new query and append as a new query, so there will be a source tables. Okay, so the source tables will not use in the modeling now. Okay, so we cannot use that modeling. Okay, in modeling, if you don't use that in modeling, okay, if you use that modeling, you can load it. But if you don't use that modeling, so you can the enable load. Okay, when you click on that source tables, okay, and when you right click on the source table, you will see the enable load. Okay, so there will be a tick mark, so you can uncheck the tick mark. That means disable a load. Okay, so that is also improve the performance. Okay, that is also improve the performance. And also when we have a parameters, okay, like when we have a huge amount of data, like so you have a suppose 3 countries data. Okay, each country is having suppose 300 MB data. Okay, so like it's almost meeting 1 GB data, right? It's almost near to 1 GB data. Okay, if you load all the data at a time, so it may cause a performance issue. Okay, suppose, okay, you have a India. Okay, you have a India, so it's having 300 GB, it's a 300 MB. And US, it's also having almost 300 MB. Okay, so and UK, so it's also having a 300 MB data. Okay, so it's almost near 1 GB data. Okay, so it's almost near 1 GB data. So when you load this type of, okay, this kind of data at a time, all countries at a time, it may cause a performance issue. So instead of that, if you go with the parameters, okay, if you create on this country column, if you create a parameter, and then if you select at a time one country, so that will be increase your performance also. Okay, so that is one more way. And then suppose you have a lot of transactional data. Okay, if you have a lot of transactional data, if you do the aggregation, okay, summarization, okay, instead of going with the detailed data, if you go with the summarized data, okay, summary data, okay, so then it will also improve the performance. And also if you use SQL source, okay, SQL server as a source, okay, you can use a query folding. Okay, native query should be on. Okay, so then that time also it will improve the performance. Okay, so these are the ways we can implement in the Power Query. Okay, so there are so many other ways also, but for now, okay, we can go with this. Okay, so you can these areas you can improve the performance. Okay, and then so Power Pivot means modeling. Okay, in modeling, if you try to avoid a bi-direction and both direction, guys. Okay, if you are a fresher to, okay, if you are new to Power BI, so if I explain these things, okay, you may not understand, guys. Okay, so you are already learned Power BI, and then, okay, where you want to improve the performance and all, and means, okay, so if you watch this video, so then only you can learn something new. Okay, so I'm going with the directly, so I'm not explaining what is bi-direction, what is the and what is the parameter and what is the query folding and all. So I'm just giving, okay, where you can improve the performance. I'm giving just points. Okay, so try to avoid a bi-direction and both direction, so that will also improve the performance. And many to many relationship. Okay, try to avoid a many to many relationship. Okay, where we have the many to many relationship. Okay, so even if you want to that video like how to avoid a many to many relationship, I have created. And so even you can watch that video, guys. Okay, so so that you can how to avoid a many to many relationship also you can find. Okay, if you did in Power BI, like, so what is that? Something I have written, sorry guys. Is there any way to, okay, suppose if you created any calculations or measures, okay, if you did any measures or calculations, okay, measures or columns, okay, so complex measures if you created in the Power BI side, okay, so you have to check, is there any way to do these calculations at source level? Suppose if your source is SQL or Oracle, something like that, so if you do it at so whatever the complex measures you created in Power BI side, okay, so is there any way to do it at source level so that our report performance will be increased? Okay, instead of doing measures, okay, measures will take the CPU processing time, okay, so instead of creating in the Power BI side, if you create at source side, databases side, so that will improve the performance, okay, this is one of the reason. And so if you are using as a source, okay, if you are using view, SQL view as a source, and it's having some very complex logic, okay, it's having some complex logic, like suppose it's having okay, multiple table joins, like 3 or more than 4 tables joins, and it's executing almost, okay, 1 to 2 minutes of time to executing, taking time to execute that view, okay, then better to create a stored procedure, okay, so try to keep that logic in the stored procedure and create a stored procedure and load the data into table. If you use the table, okay, if we'll use the table, then the report performance will be increased, okay, this is one way, okay, so these are the ways we can improve the in Power View modeling side, okay. If you coming to the Power View side, okay, if you come to the Power View side, so try to avoid a maps, okay, there is a maps, right, geographical maps are there, so maps also will improve the will decrease the performance, okay, try to avoid the maps, okay, whenever the customer wants, okay, then only you can use it, but otherwise try to avoid a maps, and try to avoid a custom visuals, okay, so but custom visuals also will decrease the performance, okay, try to avoid the custom visuals, okay. Still, if it is not increase the performance, you can go and you can okay, you can take any report case, okay, take any report, and we have a performance analyzer actually, so there is a performance analyzer in the Power View. Okay, just a minute, let me open one report. I'm opening one report, guys, okay. Okay, so it's open, okay, so it's open now, okay, so like if you want to see the performance, okay, so okay, first you have to go with the one empty tab, so it will take the cache, okay, so in the so after taking this, so just only one empty page is required, so this is the empty page, okay, so let me go with the performance analyzer, okay, in the view tab, okay, so in the view tab, so there is a performance analyzer here, okay, so here is a performance analyzer, guys, okay, you can click on this performance analyzer, okay, so after following all those best practices also, okay, if you haven't find any thing, okay, so you can go and you can like what are the main pages you have, okay, what are the main pages you have, so like you can go there, and then so this is something, okay, so introduction and net sales something, okay, so here it will give the like, so which query is taking more time and all, okay, you can do the descending order, okay, you can do the descending order, so if it is running more than 120 milliseconds, okay, if it is running more than 120 milliseconds, then means that is giving, okay, that is taking more time, okay, you can go to, okay, what is like DAX query is taking 49 milliseconds and visual, and others are taking more time, okay, so what is this others, okay, it's create internal DAX query, okay, so if you copy that query, okay, if you try to paste it here, okay, so if you try to paste it here, so this is creating internal DAX query case, okay, so it's creating internal DAX query. If you try to make it as an external DAX query means you have to create this DAX query your own, okay, you have to create this DAX query your own, okay, you can use a measure, and then so in that measure you can define these variables, and then create your own you know, or own measure, and then you can use that measure in the specific visual, okay, where you are getting this visual, okay, so store breakdown, okay, so in this visual you can use that measure, and then that will improve the performance, okay, so it will create the internal DAX query. If you make it that as an external DAX query, so that is also improve the performance. Otherwise we can use the DAX query, okay, so DAX Studio is there, okay, so other option is that, so we can take these queries into DAX Studio, and there you can analyze it, okay, where you are getting the performance issue and all, so there you can analyze it, okay, So by using DAX Studio, we'll see in the separate video. But for now, okay. So when you get the interview question, guys, okay. So these are the ways we'll follow. In Power Query, we'll follow these areas, and in Power Pivot, we'll follow this modeling. We'll follow these things, and then Power View, this follow these things. If still it's not resolved, okay, we can go with the performance analyzer, and then we'll make internal DAX query to external DAX query. This way we can improve the performance. Okay, these are the things to improve the performance. Okay, so in DAX Studio, what we will do in the DAX Studio, and how we can improve the performance by using DAX Studio, we'll see that in a different video. Okay, for now you can go with this for interview purpose, guys. Okay, yeah, thank you. So the remaining we'll see in the next video, guys. Okay, hope you like the video. Please share and subscribe my channel, guys. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, so please subscribe my channel. Thank you.